Yo, what's up guys, so today we are gonna see, what if, Naruto x Kushina x Kurenai x Mei x Sasuke's older sister x Hinata's mom, and more women, part 3, the last part. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, J3000, link is in the description, and also subscribe to my channel, and like this video. Let's begin the video. As soon as they burst through the door they soon found themselves in a large classroom along with other people who had already arrived, and when suddenly Ino came from out of nowhere groping Sasuke, well Sakura yelled at her to let go of her Sasuke, then teammate came up with Kiba announcing their presence. "Hey, where is Naruto at?" the Inuzuka asked. Ino noticed that the red-haired boy was not around them and asked, "Yeah, where is he?" "I am right here Ino-chan," Naruto said as he appeared behind. And grabbed her. "Why Ino-chan you finally grew Upai." Suddenly Naruto felt a shadow attached to his own, then his hand went for his sword on his back as he took it off and put it at his neck and was about to kill himself. Suddenly someone was sent flying across the room. Everyone turned to see Hinata in a gentle fist stand, and then every looked to see who she had attacked to see Shikamaru out cold in the corner. "Hey! Hinata, why did you attack Shikamaru?" Ino yelled as she rushed out of Naruto grasp towards Shikamaru. "He was the one that was controlling Naruto-kun," Hinata said. Everyone turned to Naruto to ask him why Shikamaru had tried to kill him, but he was gone, then they heard it. Everybody turned to see a blushing Hinata and Naruto who was feel up her Upai. They were all so shocked everybody in the room froze. "I did not know you care for me that much, Hinata-chan," Naruto said. "Your fresh genin needs to learn to keep it down. Can't you sense the atmosphere?" Everyone is already tense from their nervousness. The unrecognized Konoha-nin looked around at the fresh arrivals, weighing them individually and making a few of them rather uncomfortable. Suddenly Kurumu started to growl, and Naruto asked, "Kurumu-chan, what's wrong?" The demonic fox answered, "That silver-haired kitty is reeking of the smell of snakes." "Really?" Naruto said. Kurumu replied, "Will that be a problem?" Naruto asked. "I'm not sure, just watch out for anything," Kurumu replied. Then Naruto heard Kiba ask a question. "Who are you?" Kiba asked. "My name is Ikushi Kabuto, and I'm somewhat of a veteran of this exam." "Oh really? How many times have you taken Kabuto-san?" Sakura tried to be polite in front of fellow ninjas of the village. Kabuto scratched his nose in embarrassment. "Heh, this will be my 7th time trying." The Konoha genin were shocked. "Now I know something is definitely not right with this guy, no one can suck that bad," Naruto thought. "Wow, 7 times? You must really suck." Kiba said he couldn't help but laugh, earning a smack on the back of his head from Sakura. "Heh. That may be, but thanks to doing this so many times I've been able to gather a lot of good information." Kabuto whipped out a deck of cards and shuffled them. "These are my nin info cards. I have information on everyone attending this year. Since you're new I'll be nice and help you out a bit. Is there anyone here you want information on?" Sasuke stepped forward. "I want information on Sabaku no Tamari of Suna, Rock Lee of Konoha, and Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha." He glared over at the last boy named who narrowed his eyes in return. "Finally I'll get some dirt on you," Sasuke thought. "Oh, you know their names already? That's no fun," Kabuto said. Shuffling his deck again, Kabuto pulled out 3 cards. "Let's see, Rock Lee is first, he's done about 20 tier rank. 12 C rank. Not bad considering he's a year older than you. He excels at Taijutsu, but ninjutsu, and are nearly non-existent. This will be his first time entering with his team of Tenten and Haikeniji. There's no way a genin has this much information on other genins," Naruto thought. Next up is Sabaku no Tamari, her team has completed 18 C rank. 2B rank. It says she's come back from every one of them unharmed. A genin doing 2B rank is highly unusual, but to be unharmed afterward is unheard of. Skills are unknown, but this is also her first year along with his teammates and siblings, her older brother Kankurum and their younger sister Garina. Well, the last one has to be Uzumaki Naruto, a Cave Supernova. Kabuto channeled a little chakra into the last card to get the information to display. 1 C rank turns A rank. 2B rank. Hijutsu high. Ninjutsu high. Ninjutsu unknown. Genjutsu very high. It also said that he killed 2 Mizuki and Haruki Yamino for taking the Forbidden Scroll. Everyone was shocked to hear that Naruto killed 2, especially their favorite teacher Iruka. It also said that he killed Gato's men with just a swing of his sword and that he has a hidden bloodline. Then the card disappeared. They all looked around to see Naruto casually walking up to Kabuto, twirling the card in his fingers. "Is that back dope?" Sasuke made a lunge for the card as it was his last chance to get some more decent information on Naruto. He was easily dodged him. Naruto turned to address Kabuto where only Kabuto could see it, the Sharingan, as it morphed in the Mangekyou Sharingan, then he said, "Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi world. Where am I?" Kabuto yelled as he was tied to a cross. You are in the world of Tsukiyomi where I control everything, Naruto said as he walks closer to Kabuto. Kabuto-san, you're playing a dangerous game. You seem to know a lot about me that only my mother or the Hokage knows, meaning that either the Hokage is telling you this, you are a spy for a next villager for Orochimaru, and I think it's the last one because you smell of snack, Naruto said. You are quite the comedian, Naruto-kun. Me affiliated with Orochimaru? That is very humorous of you to think so, Kabuto replied. How about I find out for myself, Naruto said as he touched Kabuto's head as he saw who Kabuto was working for and the plan that person have for his village. So you are worker for traitor bitch Orochimaru, Naruto said, but Kabuto didn't answer. Then Naruto release him. Real world 1 millisecond later. Hey Kabuto, you are right. Kiba asked as he saw Kabuto fell to his knee. I find Kiba-san, Kabuto replied as he got back up. So this is the boy who Orochimaru-sama wants along with the Uchiha, Kabuto thought. Across the room. By Naruto-kun, you are strong than I thought. I'm look forward to meet you, Kukuku, the grass nin said to itself as it licks its lips. Most of those ninjas had overheard the announcement and were on edge regardless of whether the information was accurate. If they ran into him in the exam they would run, while the others were giving him measuring glances, as if sizing up for themselves just how much of a threat he could pose to them. Kabuto continued, as if nothing had happened. The biggest turnout is from Konoha of course, but there are some decent numbers from Mist and a couple of the smaller countries. Odo is a newly founded hidden village, but since they are so new they probably won't pose much of a threat. His talk was stopped short as a shape made its way through the crowd and swung at Kabuto, barely missing. Foolish. Was all Naruto said. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. He just gave away his main attack. Naruto replied. The others looked past him to see Kabuto now kneeling on the floor, showing everyone what his last meal was. Then Shikamaru awoke and charged at Naruto. Naruto, you team, I'm going to kill you, Shikamaru yelled. Then a large puff of smoke exploded at the front of the classroom, revealing a tall man in a black trench coat. Alright, you ungrateful insects, knock it off before I throw you out of the exam. Now everyone gets to your assigned seats, it's time to start the first part of the exam. As the ninjas scrambled to their seats they found papers there waiting for them. Shikamaru glared at Naruto. You're ruining my life, Uzumaki, for that I'll kill you, as he took his seat. Do not look at the paper in front of you until I say now for the rules. Ibiki explained all about how the test would proceed with points being taken off for cheating, and if your team's points reached 0 you would fail. The 10th question will be given at the end of the test. Until then, good luck. You may begin. Ibiki shouted. Heads bowed and papers flipped as the genin took their first looks at the paper. Then Naruto-kun, you can copy my answers if you need to. Hinata told her neighbor since he hadn't seemed to move in a while. He only seemed to scribble on the paper a bit before turning it over and setting his head on the desk. No thanks, Hinata-chan. I'm already finished. He leaned forward again and was about to close his eyes when a shadow formed up in front of him. Giving up already, boy? Ibiki loved this exam. It was his own little taste of mental torture. How you say something, Naruto said as Ibiki face fault. 20 minutes later. Alright, it's time for the last question, but first there are some more rules. Once again Ibiki spouted out his rules for the 10th question. There were cries of how unfair it was, but he gave them the choice of leaving and failing, or staying and answering the question. Getting it wrong would result in a lifetime of being a genin. Getting it right allowed you to the next part of the exam. Naruto just looked at him as few weak teams left. This is your last chance to leave or face the possibility of being genin forever. No one, then you all pass. It was quiet for a minute before the classroom erupted with noise. Ibiki explained how it was a simulated life or death choice that they could encounter on any mission, as there is no bed and drinks for anyone who gets captured. He took off his bandana revealing his scarred head. The price of information is far too great for anyone to be spared an ounce of pain. If you are unwilling to face such a consequence, then you are unfit to be the rest of the test was simply information gathering and spy skills. If you get caught out in the field trying to gain secrets, then this is the outcome. Ibiki said. He wanted to give them a few minutes to let it sink in, but it was not to be, as a black ball shot through the window and a banner shot out introducing the next proctor. My name is Mitarashi Sexy Anko, and I am the proctor for the second part of the exam. She grinned and pumped her fist into the air. All the genin sweat dropped at her action. Are you early again? Ibiki peeked from around the banner. Anko looked around the room and sweat dropped. Ibiki, you left so many teams. You're slipping in your old age. No, we just have some unusually talented genin this time, especially that one in the third row on the right. He whispered back to her. She looked to where he indicated and gasped. There he was, sitting and staring at her with those beautiful blue orbs, and his rock-hard abs were showing as she looked him up and down. The same person that had pleased her in her dreams since Kurenai had told her about his big friend. I see, Anko said with a blush on her face. She quickly snaps out of it. Your next exam will be held in training ground 44. Follow me, and don't be late. With that she was gone with all the genin hopefuls hot on her heels. Ibiki began to gather the test sheets from around the room, but stopped when he got to a certain sheet. Two things caught his eye about the completed paper. One was a seal that he'd never seen before. The other was a note at the bottom. Ibiki-san, the genin Yakushi Kabuto seems to know a bit more information than he should about everyone here. I would advise you to keep an eye on him. Give this paper to Hokage-sama. He turned to one of his assistants. Finish up here. I need to go talk to Hokage-sama. Receiving nods of understanding, he walked out, quietly wondering what the red-head boy was up to. Training ground 44. The tall gate surrounded the clump of forest that was separated from the rest of the land around it. Warning signs were posted at every gate and all over the areas, stating a horrible demise to anyone that passed them. The only part Naruto really paid attention to when Anko was talking was when she described the process with the scrolls. This of course didn't go over too well with Anko, since she was used to having all eyes on her if her dress was any sign. Swish. The sharp edge of a kunai flew by Naruto's cheek, cutting into it slightly, as a figure appeared behind him. You know, you really should be more aware of Naruto-kun. This place is dangerous, and you might get hurt. Try not to cry too much there. Anko said, as a smile graced Anko's lips. To add effect, she was about to lick the spot where the blade had cut him, but Naruto stopped her. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Naruto said. Why not, Anko said with a pout on her face. Because I have something else you can lick, and it tastes a lot better than my blood, Naruto whispered in her ears while Anko was blushing. I like the taste of it later, if you don't die in there. Anko said. So the teams all went to get a scroll, and Naruto got his scroll and gave Sasuke a duplicate. Something in his gut told him that giving the scroll to Sasuke was a bad idea. After all the teams got their scrolls, they approached their gates, and when Anko gave them the signal to start, they rushed through. Time skip. Naruto groaned as he looked up from his place on the ground. His thoughts were whirl, this is bad. That was a very powerful wind technique, and it was cast by someone capable of pushing him away while I was using chakra to stick to the tree. It must have been Orochimaru, Naruto thought, as he locked eyes with the predator that he sensed was looking at him. His eyes widened as yellow sclera along with a slitted pupil met his gaze. The snake's tongue slithered out, its forked end tasting the air for vibrations, heat, and various other things to take stock of the prey it had within its sights. Naruto jumped to the side as the snake's mouth opened, its fangs, which were almost as large as Naruto himself, bared as it lunged directly where Naruto had been moments ago. They're big, but I fought bigger, Naruto said, it seems as if the snake had hurt him as it hissed harder and charged at him. Naruto smirked, proud of himself. He was able to dodge a snake's attack, but he missed the snake's tail coming around behind him and wrapping him up as the snake turned its massive head to face him. Naruto almost swore the snake smirked before opening its mouth and engulfing its own tail in its mouth, swallowing him down its own throat. Anyone watching from outside would see a sizable bulge in the snake's throat as Naruto's body descended past its throat and into the belly of the giant snake. The snake seemed to be confused as its pleased expression went to a wide-eyed look when the snake heard. Shinra Tensei almighty push, Naruto shouted, blowing the snake up. Bloods, guts, and other organ flew everywhere while he had a smirk on his face. I always wanted to kill someone like that, Naruto said. Naruto uses his Rinnegan to track down the strong chakra source. Almost 2 minutes later, Naruto looked to the north where he had sensed Orochimaru and Sasuke's chakra. He narrowed his eyes as he began to jump towards the place he had sensed. He never noticed the snake's bloodied mess disappear in a puff of smoke. 20 minutes later, Naruto arrived on a branch overlooking his teammate Sasuke fighting a grass nin. With Orochimaru and Sasuke. Fukuku. How selfish of you, Orochimaru mocked. She sacrificed herself to let you escape, and now you are wasting her sacrifice. Shut up. Sasuke yelled, activating his Sharingan. Oh? They exclaimed. Looks like you are ready to fight. Very well then, come. Pain. Dikaku no Sasuke threw a fireball at his opponent, which he easily dodged. Oh, come on. Is that all you have? Orochimaru mocked again. DCH Sasuke gritted his teeth and attacked head-on, using Taijutsu. Snake Master smirked, blocking all of Uchiha's strike swiftly. Nah, you can't win like that. He started, delivering a mighty spinning heel kick to Sasuke's ribsage. Ah! Uchiha gasped as his back hit a tree. He then spat some blood and glared at his enemy. I knew I couldn't win against you from the beginning. The genin said and glanced at Sakura. But I can't leave her. Orochimaru grinned evilly. Win against me? He asked in mock confusion. No, I did not mean me when I spoke about winning. Then who did you mean? Sanen's grin widened. Perhaps you heard the name Itachi Uchiha. Sasuke's eyes burned with rage immediately. What do you know about him? TSK, 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 wouldn't you like to know? Snake Man stated. But the most important thing is at your current level he will crush you like a bug. Sasuke clenched his fist hard enough to draw blood. How do you know that? Fukuku I fought him. The Sannin replied. Du Sharingan eyes widened. Why you? Yes, me. Orochimaru towered over the Uchiha. So what do you want from me? Sasuke asked. Orochimaru asked back. I just wanted to help you in your quest. He stated. I know where Itachi is and even what his main goal is, even if I tell you all of it now, you won't do a shit to him. In fact, he'll simply dispose of you and… Cut the crap. Uchiha spat. What are you proposing? Fukuku straight to the point, I like it. Sannin replied. What I'm proposing is this. I'll give you a taste of my power and give you some time to test it. When we meet next time, you must have an answer. Answer to what? Sasuke asked. Are you ready to leave this useless village behind to pursue your dream? They replied. Sasuke's eyes widened. He's asking me to defect, but he will give me the power to defeat him. Very well, raven-haired teen nodded. Give me your power. Fukuku, as you wish. Sannin said. With that Orochimaru's neck extended. His head moved forward to bite Sasuke on the neck. Anshin Tenin, universal pull, and Sasuke was forced out of his hand and drop in front of Naruto. What do you think you are doing? You were about to abandon your village for power. Naruto said while looking at the grass ninja warily acting as if he didn't know who the grass nin was. I'm a bit disappointed. Naruto said. Sasuke and Sakura looked up, Sakura a look of hope in her eyes and Sasuke with dread as he kept an eye on the odd woman in front of him. Naruto, mind your own business. Sasuke shouted. The woman on the branch chuckled, so, you defeated that giant snake, did you Naruto-kun? The Kunoichi said with mirth in her voice. You called it snake I fought big Naruto said as his Rinnegan blazing. So you do have it Naruto-kun, how interesting, I can't wait to take them from you. Orochimaru thought Kuku you are so funny that what I like about you. Naruto said nothing as he ran through some hand sign which drew the ninja's attention onto himself, then he stopped at a rat sign. You should stop picking on the weak and try taking on the strong. Naruto said as his mind trying desperately to figure out a way that they could survive this encounter as he saw Sasuke's Sharingan deactivate. Water release. Swordfish bullet Naruto shouted as a giant swordfish crashed with and in was standing. Sasuke grit his teeth as he turned to Naruto. You idiot. He yelled, do you even understand the situation we are in? Naruto reached out and smacked Sasuke's head with a backhanded strike, sending him to his knees as he spit out blood from the red handprint on his face. What was that for? Sasuke yelled. Naruto's cold eyes returned, realizing he needed to be completely serious to even attempt to survive this. I don't think you understand Sasuke, he only wants your body. He said, his voice lacking emotion, it had just been exposed. Sakura's eyes widened and Sasuke stared, transfixed, as Naruto stood to his full. The grass nin bit her thumb and slid her bleeding thumb down her tattoo so the blood crossed the end of the tail and two concentric circles and through the dot before removing her thumb and speaking, Kuchiyas no jutsu. She said as a burst of smoke covered her. There was no escape or hope against this person without help from the top Anbu teams within Konoha. His bloodline registered the large snake appearing before him, but his only thought was centered around the name of their opponent. He swallowed heavily as he resolved to attempt to get his teammates out of here along with himself, at least with their lives. His eyes refocused just as the large snake moved, faster than he could see, and smashed its tail against him, Sasuke having jumped to another branch. Naruto grunted as he felt himself being thrown through the trunk of the tree he was on and slamming harshly into the trunk of the next tree, a few feet away. He coughed up blood as he felt some of his ribs bruise from the abuse they took, then a puff, and a log appeared. The Kunoichi's eyes widened as she viewed Naruto's way of evasion before they glinted with a hint of amusement. Damn. Kurumu roared, Naruto-kun, be careful when you fight this guy. It's going to take all the power you have just to survive. Naruto ran through some hand sign water release. Twin dragon bullet as the dragon with two head rushes to the grass nin. The Kusa-nin turned to see the jutsu and dodged it with a smirk on her face. Did you really expect that to work? She asked with a smirk. No, Naruto said. A second later he was behind her Nova release. Nova palm as he grabs Kusa-nin head with his palm melting it. Then I heard fire style. Fireball jutsu. A huge fireball shot at Naruto enveloped him in fire. The nin stood across from the blaze. Thus he wasn't as special as he though grass nin thought. Then he noticed Sakura and Sasuke on a branch just a bit below them. He was about to calm his prize when he saw Rhino Dome in the fire. Earth release. Rhino Dome. Man, that was close, you almost caught me, Naruto said with not a scratch on him. The Kusanin's eyes widened for a brief second, then returned to normal, and a dark smirk crossed his face for a quick second. She then reached for her face, and then peeled off her face, revealing that she was in fact male. Clever boy, Orochimaru hissed, it seems like you earned your name, but let's see if you've earned your rank in the bingo book. With that, the snake man charged at Naruto with a swinging punch. Naruto ducked to the side, but was caught in the stomach with a knee that sent him flying backwards and into a tree. Naruto then whipped out a sword. The snake avoided the first few slaps, but was surprised when the Naruto in front of him puffed away and appeared behind him, focusing his chakra into his feet. The snake man jumped, avoiding the foot, but it was too late, he was sent flying crashing into the trees. Naruto then walks over to them. You guys okay? Naruto asked. Yeah, Sakura said, we're fine. I think we should get out of here before that white pedophile weirdo wakes up. Orochimaru then realized that Naruto got distracted again. Then he responded by going through hand signs and calling out, wind style. Great tornado. Naruto didn't react in time and was blasted into the side of a tree with a blast of smoke, splinters, and bark. The white pedophile weirdo burst from the ground and his neck extended and bit Sasuke on the neck. The man then sank his teeth into Sasuke's neck. The young Uchiha screamed in pain. What did you do to him? Sakura yelled as she heard her teammate scream. Just a little present, Orochimaru said with a nasty smirk, soon he'll seek me out for power. Sakura growled, then charged angrily at the snake. The snake didn't move since he figured this girl was a fangirl and won't be much of a threat, and he was right, he didn't even feel the punch. He then backhanded her, which knocked her out, then he felt a fist hit him. Earth release. Rock fist, Naruto shouted, then he chased after him. I'll kill you. Orochimaru roared as he rose up from the ground and let out a low snarl as he charged at Naruto. But teammate were hiding. They watched in fear. It was thanks to their teamwork that the team managed to avoid others so far. What they were seeing was a first-hand experience of what the sand ninja were capable of. Arg, a rain ninja fell towards the floor as he watched his teammates being killed by their own rain of dot. Is that all you got? Temari spoke without essence in his voice. The rain ninja fell afraid as he crawled away from the red-haired ninja. Wah, what are you? Temari gave no response as her gourd, which was open, gathered up sand and it started to wither towards the ninja, who screamed and moved back in fear. Irina and Kankuro watched on with sympathy for the man as they saw the ninja then get wrapped in sand. Ah! The rain ninja screamed in fear as then was encased in sand, only his head remained. Temari then raised her right hand and then enacted her finishing move, Sabaku kick, sand binding coffin. The sand then managed to squash his insides, killing him in the process as sand rained in the area which contained blood. Hinata trembled in fear as she never saw a person get killed like that. She was whimpering, but Shino held her and tried to control her composure. Biba froze in fear as Akamaru didn't even whimper. Once the deed was done, Kankuro went to pick up the scroll. Kurina, Temari, we found our scroll. Kurina just watched Temari because although she saw this many times, she still felt sad for her big sister. Kankuro brought out the extra earth scroll they had. What shall we do with this? Temari ignored him as he sensed the people behind him. Temari, let's go, Kurina notices as well and wants to go straight away. Yeah, we already have our scroll and we might see more opponents around tower. Kankuro agreed with Kurina. Temari then looked at both his brother and sister and then raised her hand, which gathered up sand. Teammate noticed that they were caught. Shit, he found us. Kiba sweated as he clenched his fists. Hinata was shaking while Shino was ready for battle. Temari, please, Kurina pleaded. Silence ensued as seconds felt like hours for teammate. Temari then relented and then walked off. Kankuro and Kurina looked at each other and sighed. Kankuro then walked after his sister as he disposed of the extra earth scroll he had. Kurina then looked at teammate who were hiding and then she smiled at them, then walked off. Teammate then let out their breaths once the sand team left. They are dangerous, Shino said as he got rid of his fear. Hinata nodded and Kiba agreed as he then saw a scroll a foot away from them. Look, they left one scroll. Kiba ordered Akamaru, who jumped and took the scroll and ran back to them. What scroll is it? Shino watched Kiba as he inspected the scroll, his eyes went wide. It was an earth scroll and realization hit them. If the sand ninjas were looking for a heaven scroll and the rain ninjas weren't there, then let's go quickly, Shino ordered as he wanted to leave right away. Yes, I don't want to see them again. Kiba agreed as teammate then ran to the tower. Back with Naruto. Sensei Orochimaru shouted, shooting several snakes from his arm. Shit. Naruto exclaimed, hiding behind a tree. You can't hide from me. One of the Sannin stated. Who said I was trying to hide? Naruto replied as he pulled out his sword from off of his back, then green energy started coming off it, slashing at him. Oh, the world's strongest / a pretty advanced technique for your age. Sanin stated. You have to be commended, but it won't be enough to defeat me. Damn. Naruto cursed. Orochimaru was simply too fast for him to hit. Ah. Naruto coughed out blood as Orochimaru punched him in the gut. You are very skilled for a genin. Orochimaru admitted. Come with me, and he will give you more power than you can imagine. Naruto glared at him. Never, as his eyes then turned red, with slits instead of Rinnegan. I'll tear you apart. As he lunged at him. Wow, he became faster. Orochimaru said, dodging his punches. But not fast enough. He then grabbed Naruto's wrist and threw him into a tree, pinning the red-haired boy by the throat afterwards. Forgive me Kur-chan, but I have to use the jutsu, Naruto said. No, Kurumu didn't get to finish as Naruto cut her off as his eyes morphed to the combination Sharingan and Rinnegan, then blood came out of his eyes. Nova release. Nova armor as his body begun to cover with a Nova, forcing Orochimaru to let go. Damn, that would have melted my hands off if it had touched me, Orochimaru thought. Naruto begun to walk towards him, and every step Naruto took the ground beneath his feet melt. Seeing this, Orochimaru got scared until he saw that Naruto's jutsu was wearing off. He could see the 2nd and 3rd degree burns on Naruto's body. Kuku, it seems jutsu had harsh side effect, Naruto-kun, Orochimaru said as he took out his sword and appeared behind and swing it, but Naruto was able to dodge, but not fully, as it caught him on his back. Why, you are very strong after all the fighting, and that jutsu you just used, you still have enough strength to dodge my attack, Orochimaru said as he licked Naarutoe blood of his sword. Failing to see the smirk on Naruto's face, then Naruto started drawing some more chakra from when something crashed into his stomach. Baju Fuin. Naruto screamed in pain when Orochimaru slammed his hand in his stomach. Now we can't have you get any stronger on me again. Now for my gift to you, Naruto-kun, said Orochimaru as he walks toward Naruto. Naruto tried to get up, but he couldn't, and, as Orochimaru was about to bite Naruto, someone kicked him in the face, sending him flying into the trees. Anbu turns around towards Naruto, showing off his yellow eyes. Flashback. As the attack was about to hit Naruto, a gentle head pushed him away and took the attack for him. When look around, it was Kushina with a Chidori throw her chest. She kicked him away, then 10 more rude Anbu came out of nowhere, surround her. Kushina tried to fight all of them until a sword pierced her chest. Then she fell to the ground. Mom, Naruto shout, running towards her with blind rage when something pierced his leg and shoulder and fell to the ground. I'm not strong enough, this where I die. As the Anbu came in for the kill him, a person with yellow eyes appeared between them. The last thing Naruto heard was kuku before darkness take over him. Flashback. So you are the person that saved me from the Anbu 2 years, Naruto asked. Yes, I am, replied the Anbu. But why, you a rude Anbu, aren't you supposed to capture me, Naruto? Because I like you, and no, I am not a rude agent, the Anbu replied. Then who are you, Naruto asked. My name is Rina, your bodyguard who was chosen to protect you, and it is nice to finally meet you face to face, Rina said as she took off her mask and cloak to reveal a beautiful woman, long black hair, nice hourglass shape, 5ft6, long shapely legs, see cupu pie, and something similar to what Anko was wearing. As Naruto was about to ask some question, Orochimaru appeared and he was very pissed. How dare you interrupt my fun, and who are you, Orochimaru roared. She then turned around and revealed herself to him. I hurt can believe my father doesn't remember me, Irina said. Forest of Death. The Ino Shikacho trio were now leaping through the forest, careful not to be spotted, while simultaneously keeping a lookout for a group that could have their scroll. Come on guys. Called Ino excitedly. Let's quickly get a scroll and get to the finish line. But don't you think we should make sure we have the proper food provisions? Asked Chaoji. We might get stuck here longer than we planned. Shikamaru ignored them. All he was thinking about was how to kill Naruto and kill him for what Naruto had done to him. Outside the Forest of Death. Mitarashi Anko was happily munching on her dango. She then looked at the sky as it was showing that morning was about to come. The first day is almost over. Suddenly there was a sudden puff of smoke and one of the Chunin proctors appeared in front of her. Anko-san. We need you right away. Anko stared at the Chunin with a stoic expression as she picked her tooth. What is it? We found 3 bodies and we need you to check as there is something wrong with them. Anko nodded and followed the Chunin. When she got to the bodies, what she saw shocked her as it looked familiar. They seemed to be from Sunagakure, and the Chunin shook his head. As you can see, they have no faces. Anko gritted her teeth. Damn it. Orochimaru. But why now and why where? Show me the pictures of these 3. Anko demanded. When she got to see the photo, she saw the woman who had grabbed Anko's kunai. Damn it. I should have known. Anko recollected back when that lady gave her kunai. Anko pointed at the Chunin. I need you to report to the Hokage now. Anko did not wait for a reply as she ran towards the gate heading into the forest of death to confront her old sensei. But Naruto and Orochimaru was shocked to hear this. "You can't be my daughter, I killed you myself," Orochimaru said, still shocked. "You also did if it wasn't for Kushina," Rina said. "That blasting women keep on messing up my plan. I know I should have killed her when I had the chance." Orochimaru. He was brought out of his thought when he heard Naruto. "Rina-chan, are you sure he is your father, cause I heard he was gay?" Naruto said. "I'm not gay," Orochimaru yelled as charge at Naruto, but had to stop and change direction as he dodged and attacked blood release. Toxic blood as blood shoot out of Rina mouth. "You will not hurt Naruto-kun as long as I am here," Rina shouted as her charge at him. "Pain. Kakaku no." Rina threw a fireball at him, which he easily dodged. "Oh, come on. That's not all, right?" Orochimaru mocked again. "No, it not," Rina said as she appeared behind him and gave him a chakra enhance to the sending him flying into trees. "Kuku Rina-chan, you have gotten better, you are a lot better," Orochimaru said. "Why did you betray me?" Rina said. "Wouldn't you like to know?" Orochimaru said. Flashback 19 years ago. Orochimaru looking at his daughter, he wanted her to be the strongest ninja ever, so he worked many experiments on her to try to make her strong so he could use her body in the future until finally he had created a new bloodline by mixing blood release and poison release. 3 years later, Orochimaru defect already. He trained her throughout the years. Even after his defect, he took her with him where they travel through the elementary nation where they took many mission. He let her do the most dangerous mission, they two of the most dangerous ninja. 6 years later. Rina is 13. She was getting stronger and stronger at a fast rate, and Orochimaru feared that in the next couple she would be stronger than him, he would be able to control her anymore. It had already started. He offered her the curse seal. But she refused. He couldn't force because of her bloodline. If tried to give it to her by force he could died, so tried to do everything to prevent that, from send her on dangerous mission so that she would be killed. But she kept coming back after every mission, so he decided to get rid of her himself. So one day while she was on a MISSION fake mission he had given to her, he paid men to ambush her. She fought of 30 men before they finally subdue her and beat her to an inch of her life. When they brought her to their master, she couldn't believe who it was. It was her father. "Why?" she asked him. "Kuku, you foolish girl, you think I didn't know you were going to betray Orochimaru?" "What are you talking about? I would never betray you," she said. "Of course you won't, because you will be dead soon," Orochimaru said as he pushed his sword through her chest. Then he extracted her DNA and let his men dump her body in the river. Down the river. Kushina was coming from a mission. When she saw the body floating in the river, she rushed toward the body to see if that person was alive. When she fished the body out of the river, the person was breathing, but barely, so Kushina used a medical to save her and took her back to the village. Flashback end. "Team, you betray me because you thought I would betray you. I would have never betray you back. You were my father. I wanted your respect, for you to treat me as an equal, but you to put a curse seal so you could control me," Rina yelled. "You can earn my respect now. Hand over the boy and I will treat you as an equal," Orochimaru said as he walked closer to them until he was near them. As he stretched out his hand to grab Naruto, it suddenly fell off and he was flying backwards into the trees. "I don't need anything from you anymore," yelled Rina. Then she runs through a hand-sealed blood release. Poison needle. As the needle shot at Orochimaru, forcing him to dodge, suddenly he was behind her and gave her a kick, sending her flying into the trees. But Sakura. She had woken up earlier and found Sasuke lying on the ground and picked him and carried him into a cave. 3 hours later. Sakura continued watching and Sasuke looked exhausted. When there was a sound, Sakura became alert and threw a kunai, which missed because it was only a squirrel running towards her. She sighed in relief when she realized it was not an enemy, but suddenly Sakura heard chuckling coming in front of her. Looking up, she saw the 3 sound genins who she noticed were in the examination room. All of them were smirking. "Looks like you've been up all night taunting Dosu. We are here for the Uchiha to wake him up." Zaku leaked killer intent, scaring Sakura a bit. "What do you want from Sasuke-kun?" asked Sakura as she got in her stance. "I won't let you take him." "Shut up, girl. I will tell you where." Kin lunged at Sakura but stopped as Dosu told her to wait. The man walked forward until he stopped where Sakura threw her kunai and kneeled down to touch the ground. "It looks like you tried to set a trap for us in such a bad manner. You need to learn how to set traps better." Sakura sweated in fear, causing the 3 sound ninjas to chuckle before they leapt over the ground, but suddenly a huge log came sailing towards them thanks to Sakura, who enacted her trap. This was futile as Dosu destroyed it using his metal gauntlet, shocking Sakura. She was then stricken with fear as she couldn't move when all 3 sound ninjas came towards her. But then a miracle happened. Konoha Senpyu. Leaf tornado. A green blur appeared and with a kick knocked the 3 sound ninjas away. When the green blur landed in front of Sakura, the pink-haired girl screamed in relief. "Who the hell are you?" Zaku shouted as he stood up and rubbed his sore cheek. I am Konoha's green beast rock Lee. Lee raised his head up as he looked serious and had a squirrel on his shoulder. Lee. What are you doing here? Asked a confused Sakura. The eyes double looked back at her and smiled. I will always be here to protect you Sakura-san, he said. Sakura gave the boy a smile and bowed. Thank you Lee. Lee gave her smile before turning towards the sound Genin. I said it once before, I'll protect you and I won't break my promise. Sakura just smiled as she wasn't fit to fight. Dosu eyed the green-clad Genin wearily. He knew Lee's capabilities because of what happened in the examination room. Zaku, I will leave Sasuke to you. I will kill these two. Zaku nodded. Lee looked worried for Sakura. Sakura-san is in no condition to fight. He is fast, but he only knows Taijutsu. I'm going to have a little fun, Dosu thought as he began to advance towards Lee. Dosu rushed towards Lee as the boy got prepared when the bandaged man got nearby and tried to hit Lee with his gauntlet. However, Lee with great strength punched the ground and brought out a huge tree which connected with Dosu's gauntlet, destroying it in the process. So I was right. You seem to rely on that hand of yours. It must have some sort of trick to it, right? Lee deduced, much to Dosu's amazement and his team. Sakura was amazed he is strong. Lee was in deep thought him at a disadvantage since it's 3 against 1. Lee eyed all 3 of his opponents and then it narrowed. Suddenly Lee started to unwrap the bandages on his arms. Guy-sensei, I will now use that move without reservation. Because now is the time for Dosu, who now landed, rushed at Lee again and smirked. Sakura looked prepared when Lee started to enact his technique to protect an important person. Dosu lunged forward with his right arm wide, but then suddenly his eyes went wide. Lee disappeared and then reappeared under him and gave him an upward kick under Dosu, hitting his chin, making him soar into the air. While Dosu flew in the air behind him, Lee appeared. I'm not done yet. Lee then wrapped the mummified Genin with his bandages. Then Guy's student started to spin, slowly at first, but it gradually picked up more speed until the pair crashed right onto the earth. Take this. Ahmed Reng Initial Lotus yelled at Lee as he released his hold on Dosu. Just as he was about to hit the ground, Zaku interfered. I can't let you. He then slammed his hands into the ground and sent a wave of air towards the spot Dosu was about land. A few seconds later Dosu hit the ground head first. With his legs moving about, Dosu got out of the ground showing no effect but was only dazed. Impossible. Lee exclaimed. Lee became weakened because he carried out the move. Now it's my turn. Dosu brought his right hand forward ready to attack. Dosu then ran towards Lee and swung at him. Lee narrowly dodged but got affected by the sounds within the gauntlet, which made Lee's vision blurry and his ears bleed. Lee-san, Sakura worriedly spoke. Lee couldn't see Dosu as his vision became blurry and then fell to the ground, having difficulty getting up. Dosu watched Lee wither in pain and spoke, raising his gauntlet. There is a little trick to my attack. Just dodging won't help. Dosu chuckled. Sound, you dodged my fist, but my sound got you. Sound. Lee grabbed his left ear in pain. Do you know what sound is? Dosu asked. Vibration, Sakura answered, making Dosu delighted. That's correct. Being able to hear something means that your eardrum catches the vibrations in the air, Dosu lectured. And the human eardrum will shatter anything above 150 decibels, and to top that, to apply shock to semicircular canals, an opponent will lose his sense of balance. Lee grunted in pain, making Dosu chuckle again. You won't be able to move for a while now. Your outdated hand-to-hand combat won't work on us, Zaku gloated while he crouched, making Lee grit his teeth. It was effective for a while, but I showed you my technique. Zaku smirked. So it's not going to go smoothly as you thought it'd be. He then took out his hands from the ground and brought it out for Lee to see. I can control supersonic waves and air pressures which are even capable of destroying boulders. Lee and Sakura's eyes went wide as they recollected what happened. Zaku carried on. I can send air into the ground and make it a cushion as well. He then smirked arrogantly, and at that moment airwaves came out of his hands. It's different from your dumb moves. Sakura gasped and Zaku chuckled. Lee gritted his teeth. Okay, Dosu stepped forward and raised his right hand. You're next. He ran at Lee, who got prepared but then moved to get Sakura instead. Damn it, Lee grunted as Dosu ran at Sakura, who reached for her pouch. He's coming, then got out a kunai and became ready. Once Dosu reached near and swung, Lee ran at a quick pace, intercepting Dosu, shocking both the man and Sakura. When he got close, Lee swung his right leg Konoha Senpyu, Leaf Tornado, but his damaged body managed to get him. Dosu, using this opening, grabbed his right leg and pushed it away. It looks like my previous attack was effective. He then gained some space for himself and tried to swing at Lee. You surprised me a bit. But I don't see a trace of your chain combo that was executed in a flash. Lee blocked his left side, but Dosu smirked and swung at his left, connecting with Lee. He then charged his technique as mass vibration of sound echoed. This arm amplifies the sound that is generated inside to its maximum like a speaker. Lee was in pain, but blocked as long as he could, making Sakura scream his name in fear. The sound inside the gauntlet echoed as Dosu redirected it to Lee using his chakra as it went straight inside Lee's ear, making him scream louder. Lee sent Sakura screamed as Lee fell to the floor unconscious. Dosu looked down at him gravely and raised his arm now to finish you off. I won't let you. Sakura pulled out 3 kunai and threw it at him, which made no effect because Dosu used his gauntlet to block it. Sakura's eyes went wide while Dosu grinned cheese. With Rina and Naruto. Rina looked beaten as she almost fell unconscious while Orochimaru stood before her. Rina-chan, nice try, but you don't have the strength to beat me. Orochimaru spoke, making his daughter grit her teeth. Rina grunted and used her only strength by pulling out a kunai fuck you. She then tossed it at Orochimaru, who merely caught it between his fingers and shook his head. Ma, you never change. Before Rina could respond, Orochimaru slammed her into the tree and lifted her up by the neck. Rina gasped as she struggled to breathe. She tried to stab him with a kunai, but Orochimaru managed to paralyze her. He then let her go as she fell to the floor holding her neck in pain. He dropped her on the ground and walked over to Naruto. As he walked over, he started cough up blood and he walked closer to Naruto. The worse the cough become, then he started to wonder when Rina blood got into her system. He did even remember any blood system except when he licked Naruto. You bitch, you gave him your blood, did you? The snake yelled. He had lost his chance to get Naruto's body. Rina started to laugh as she remembered when she had given Naruto her blood. Flashback 7 years ago. Rina waited for everybody to leave the hospital room before she came out of the shadow and poured something in a sleeping Naruto mouth. Soon Naruto, you will be mine, Rina said before she sank back into the shadows. Flashback end. Orochimaru walked closer to kill Naruto when he sensed Anbu coming. He sank into the ground and he was gone. A few seconds later, Konoha and Yuga arrived to see Naruto and Rina on the ground, then they rush over to heal them. Back with Lee. Zaku came next to Dosu and smirked. Heh, I don't even know if she's worth the effort. Kin then came walking in front of them with a smug look. Well then, allow me. Sakura looked at Kin and charged and threw several shurikens and then went through a set of hand seals. Kin dodged all of them and looked at the girl only to see 3 Sakura. Kin raised her eyebrow at her. You think a technique like that is going to work? Kin threw several at Sakura. All 3 Sakuras burst into smoke, with the one in the middle being replaced with a log. Sensing her, Kin turned to see 3 more clones, all of them doing hand seals. Again Kin tossed more, hitting all of them again, gaining the same result as before. This time Kin blocked a punch that came from behind her by Sakura. Kin punched back, making the pink-haired girl falter back. Kin used this opportunity to knee Sakura, winding her, and then slapped the girl, making her fall to the ground. Then she picked up Sakura by the hair hard, making her cry in pain. Kin whistled as she admired Sakura's hair. Well, you look at that, it's softer than mine. She then scowled. Girls like you who take care of their hair then train makes me sick, fucking fangirl. Zaku screamed at Kin. You take the little girl while I'll take the Uchiha. He then went to the shelter as he smirked cruelly. Sakura watched helplessly as she realized how pathetic and weak she was. Events that led to this situation collected in her head. Sasuke-kun and Naruto both became strong while I only relied on them, and now I can't do anything to help. Naruto, please come save me. Sakura closed her eyes, tears furiously drizzled out. I don't want to be left behind by them, I want to be standing next to them. Kin pulled her hair up. Hey, pay attention, your boyfriend will die before your eyes, so don't blink. Sakura's eyes widened. I can't let them kill Sasuke-kun. She then with courage brought her kunai up, getting Kin's attention. Seriously, Kin had a disappointed look. Sakura smirked and then gritted her teeth. Who said this was for you? Kin's eyes went wide as she saw Sakura cut her long hair using the surprise of her head, but Kin on the chin, making her fall back. Sakura then ran to Zaku, who noticed and sent her a blast of airwaves, but Sakura replaced herself with a log. Damn it, she is like a fly. He then shot another wave, getting the same result from Sakura, annoying him even more. Zaku then knew where she was and flung a kunai at her and quickly looked around, thinking where she would be next. However, Zaku felt blood drip on his face, making his eyes go wide. Sakura came down upon him as she had his kunai embedded in her. She then crashed on him as they fell with her on top, trying her best to hold him. Zaku started to repeatedly punch her head as he couldn't use his airwaves this close. You bitch. Get off. Repeatedly and repeatedly he punched her. You fucking bitch. Get off. Team 10. Team 10 watched in shock as they saw someone from childhood getting the beating of a lifetime. Shikamaru glared at Ino as she started to shake. Ino bit her lip. She didn't know what to do. She was conflicted whether to help her or not. Ino Shikamaru spoke. Let's get out of here, we have an exam to finish. That shocked both his teammate, they never expect him to be that cold. Are you crazy? She's my friend, we can't leave her, Ino yelled. Whatever, I not helping his teammate, Shikamaru said. But Sasuke, isn't he your best friend? Are going to let them kill him, Ino said. Shikamaru started thinking a moment before he said, fine, let's go save them. Ino looked at Shikamaru and nodded, now having an answer. Let's go. Sakura got thrown to the floor by Zaku after he punched her face in and raised his hands at her, intending to blow her away when he got interrupted. Team 10 appeared, getting the sound team's attention. So we got one more bunch to play with. Zaku looked annoyed. It doesn't matter, I will blow you all away. No matter, they won't matter much, Dosu muttered as Kin nodded. Taoji gulped. Ino looked determined but scared while Shikamaru had a serious expression. Damn it, what shall Akimichido? Shikamaru looked at his friend and knew what he was thinking. It's troublesome, but we got to do this. Sorry I got you two involved, Ino apologized. Whatever, I only here to save Sasuke, Shikamaru spoke. Taoji nodding, yeah, we work as a team. Zaku chuckled, hey look at the fat ass, his cheeks look like cinnamon rolls. Kin laughed lightly while Dosu chuckled. Taoji froze, what did you call me? Zaku raised his eyebrow, I called you fat ass fatty. Oh crap, here it comes, Shikamaru muttered and gulped as someone called Taoji the F word. Taoji exploded and his face turned red. I'm not fat. I'm big boned. I'll kill you. Taoji began going through several hand seals and screamed by Kanoja Utsu multi-size technique. The Akimichi enlarged double his size as he turned into a big size ball and then rolled towards Zaku. What the fuck? Zaku was shocked at the weirdness of the technique. You fat ass, I will cut you down to size. He then screamed Zankit, decapitating airwaves. The airwaves slowed Taoji down, shocking Zaku as he thought the fatty was done for. Dosu quickly went to back up his teammate but couldn't move. What's this? Dosu was confused as he for some reason couldn't move. Page main no jutsu, shadow possession, complete. Shikamaru smirked. Zaku dodged Choji as he was running all over the place with Choji after him. Damn it. Dosu, are you okay? Kin shouted at her teammate who froze. Ino smirked as she did her technique Shintenshin no jutsu, mind body switch technique. A sound echoed and then Ino fell unconscious as she hit Kin dead center. Taoji's technique wore off as Ino, who got into Kin's body, spoke as she pulled out a kunai and aimed it at her neck. Stop, or this girl will die. Dosu and Zaku just looked at each other and then Zaku sent an airwave at Kin, who flew back hard. The impact made Ino get out of the body. Ino, Shikamaru yelled as the girl got up. They don't care for their teammate. TCH, we are shinobi, Zaku spoke. Suddenly a kunai sailed towards both guys as they jumped back. It was Tenten and Niji as they came for their fallen comrade. Damn it, they keep coming like sewer rats, Zaku scowled. So you are here to fight as well? Dosu spoke and Niji gave no reply because he was looking at something. Dosu turned around and his eyes went wide. Soon everyone looked as well because Sasuke got up and had purple chakra whipping around him violently. Standing up, he looked at himself as he activated his Sharingan. Sasuke-kun, Sakura mumbled in shock, shivering at the chilling feel the purple chakra gave off. Sasuke turned to look at her with an evil glare. Sakura, who did this to you? Sasuke-kun, what happened to you? Sakura stuttered, seeing the black flame-like pattern on her crushed skin. Sasuke smirked. It's nothing I feel great about. No. I feel spectacular. I have the power now to finally become an Avenger. I was meant to be. The Genins looked shocked at what the Uchiha said. Now Sakura, who hurt you? Zaku smirked. That would be me. Sasuke's chakra flared while Dog's eyes went wide. Damn, it's the seal. Zaku raised both his hands at Sasuke and smirked. Zaku no, Dosu screamed. Extreme decapitating airwaves. A large blast of air was shot towards the area where Sasuke was standing. The attack destroyed everything, leaving nothing. When the dust dispersed, Zaku smirked in victory. He was blown to high heaven. Who was? A voice spoke behind him. Dog's eyes went wide. He is fast. Is this really Sasuke-kun? Ino looked afraid of Sasuke's development. Zaku barely had time to turn around before Sasuke grabbed both his hands and forced him to his knees. Sasuke put a foot on Genin's back and began to pull his arms back. Zaku tried to move but was only able to turn his head enough to see Sasuke grinning at him. What would you do without these arms, I wonder? Zaku's eyes went wide while Sasuke grinned evilly and then with great force broke it, creating a sickening snap. Hhhhhh. Zaku screamed as everyone winced at his scream. Zaku withered on the floor in pain as the Uchiha looked at Dosu, who froze in fear. Do you want to go next? Sakura trembled that this wasn't Sasuke-kun. She then remembered his smile and their time as Team 7. Now Sasuke was cold and callous. Suddenly Sakura ran at Sasuke and hugged him from behind. Sasuke-kun, please stop, please. The Uchiha froze Sakura. He looked unconvinced, but Haruno cried, Sasuke-kun, please, that's enough. Her pleas worked as then Sasuke's curse seal faded away. You're strong. Sasuke and Sakura turned to see Dosu on his knees. Everyone looked as well. Sasuke-kun, we can't defeat you. He placed the scroll on the ground. "The Earth Scroll is for you if you let us go." He threw the scroll over to Sasuke, who nodded, and then Dosu took both his teammates and ran off. Everyone rested as Sakura's hair was being done by Ino. Lee woke up and was speaking to his team as he was thanked by Sakura and became a blushing mess. "Hey Sakura, where his team?" Naruto Shikamaru asked, getting both Sakura and Sasuke's attention as their eyes went wide. "Team guy just watched, come to think of it, where is Naruto-kun?" Lee inquired. Niji was just quiet and Tenten looked around. Suddenly a red blur crashed into the clearing, getting everyone's attention as they got on their guard. Their eyes became wide as they recognized who it was. Naruto. Sakura was happy for her teammate's arrival. Naruto yelled, "Shikamaru, charge at Naruto," as Naruto with ease and punched Shikamaru in the stomach as belt over Naruto's shoulder. Naruto whisper, "You're weak just like your father," as Shikamaru lost consciousness as everybody looked in shock. Nobody knew why he hated Naruto, but no one was willing to ask Naruto because they were afraid of him. Sakura. "Sasuke, do you have a scroll?" Naruto's teammates nodded. "What happened to you?" Naruto asked Tenten. Naruto ignored her as he looked at the scroll he had and frowned. "Shit, another heaven scroll." Naruto looked over and saw that Shikamaru had an earth scroll, so he walks over, but Ino and Choji back his way. "Move or I will kill you," Naruto said in a cold voice as he took out his sword and pointed at them. As they step aside, he took up the scroll and left his heaven scroll, much to everybody. "Naruto, how could you do that to our friends?" Sasuke yelled. "That was very unyouthful." Naruto ignored them. "Sakura, Sasuke, let's go now before the company arrives." The Uzumaki just ran forward with both scroll. His teammates hesitated at first before following after him. Team 10 picks up Shikamaru and leaves. Neji used his Byakugan and he was shocked. There were lots of teams coming this way. Naruto was right. "Lee, Tenten, let's go." Lee and Tenten nodded and dispersed. Outside the tower. It was the fourth day and Team 7 managed to get into the tower from the east as they avoided opponents. Team 7 got inside the tower and then saw a sign on the wall. "What's that?" Sakura inquired, making the blonde delinquent read it. "I think we have to open them." The other two agreed and Naruto and Sasuke each grabbed one of the scrolls. "Alright, we'll open them." Sasuke and Naruto looked at each other and then threw both scrolls towards the floor. Suddenly there was a puff of smoke and someone came out. It was Anika, who waved, who smiled. "Hey guys." Anika. Sakura was happy for her crush sister who smiled at her. Naruto did not get to reply as Anika tackled him to ground as she captured his lip hungrily as he lay there make out for what seems like hours. Then they got up. "So guys, how are you?" Anika said. Sakura smiled. "We are fine, Anika. We had a tough time, but we made it." "Okay guys, let me tell you the real reason for this test." Anika then told them the reason for the scrolls, as heaven meant mind and earth meant strength. Together they are to be in harmony. "Now you guys have half hour, so rest up," Anika said. Inside the tower, Naruto's room. "Naruto, I need to talk to you, could you summon Messade?" "Okay, summoning Kurumi," Naruto said, as she came out. Naruto expect to be her normal fun-loving self, where she would tackle him to the ground and smash her cleavage in his face. He got the tackle alright as she beat the crap out of him. "Naruto, you team, I told never to use that move, you could have died," Kurumi yelled as she continued to beat him with tears coming out of her eyes as Naruto hugged her until the crying stopped. "I sorry Kurumi-chan, I never do anything like that again," Naruto said as he continued to hug her as the crying stopped and she lifted her head out of his embrace and stared into his eyes as he got closer to her and kissed her. Next morning. Morning came and all of the contestants were told to meet in the main arena at noon. 10 minutes until noon they made their way to the arena where the rest of the teams that had passed were waiting and got into lines according to teams. It was mostly Konoha genin, including Kabuto's team, whom Naruto eyed warily. There was also the Suna team, which looked a bit bored, and the Oto team. Last was a team from Kurigakure, two of which looked to be in high spirits. With only a few minutes until noon, the arena doors crashed open and Team 10 waltzed in with Shikamaru leading the pack. The Avenger looked around until his eyes landed on Naruto. His fists clenched and he started off towards the red head but was stopped by a hand on his shoulder. He looked up into the face of his sensei and sneered. "Let go of me, I need to teach the dope a lesson." "No, wait until the exam," Asuma said. The Hokage looked over at the group in front of him and forced a smile. The presence of Kabuto was rather concerning as well. "I congratulate you all on making it to the tower on time. Now I will tell you the true purpose of these exams." The Hokage went into a slightly long speech about the politics behind the upcoming matches and how they would be reflecting on their country's strengths. When he was finished and about to send them on their way, a sickly ninja walked up and interrupted him. "Excuse me, Hokage-sama, cough, but as the proctor of the cough, the final stage of these exams is something I need to take care of first." The old man nodded to him and stepped aside, giving him the floor. "My name is Jack Mahade, and I will be your final proctor for these exams. Before we can let you all leave today, however, there is a small matter that needs to be taken care of. With so many important individuals coming to Konoha KOF to watch the main matches, we would rather not keep them waiting around for more than a day if we don't have to. Since the matches will be set up in a single elimination tournament style, we are going to have the preliminary matches now, in order to lessen the numbers of contestants in the main matches." Cries of outrage came mainly from Team 10, since they had only just gotten there straight from the forest. They looked apart too, as they were the dirtiest in the room. If anyone feels that they would be unable to continue KOF with the fight, they may leave now. Just raise your hand and you will be escorted to the village. Only 2 people put their hands up. One was a Kirin who looked like he was about to fall over any minute, the other made many in the room suspicious. The Budo had his hand up and is claiming that the last fight he had to go through in the forest took too much out of him and he made a show of limping away from the group. This of course didn't fool a few of those in the room, and Sarutobi shifted his eyes to a window where a hidden Anbu would be, signaling that he should follow the boy. "Well, now if there is no one else, these matches will be decided by this board behind me in a random draw. Cough cough, those not participating in the current match will move to the balconies at the sides until their names are called. The match does not cough begin until I say, and it only ends when your opponent is dead, forfeits or I call the match, at which point you cough will immediately stop. If you do not stop, you risk an automatic forfeiture to the main match's cough, no matter how well you did." Payate finished his speech and looked at the board with everyone following his lead as the first names shuffled into view. Uchiha Sasuke and Academy Yoroi stay on the floor. Everyone else please cough proceed to the balconies. All the genin moved into place to watch or participate in the first match of the day. Sasuke smirked as Yoroi rushed him. Easy win. He struck out at the other genin, but his strike was pushed to the side as Yoroi grabbed onto his shirt and a blue glow surrounded his hand. Sasuke immediately panicked as he felt chakra being drawn out of him. He could already feel his strength ebbing and quickly pushed the other boy off him as he staggered backwards. Yoroi didn't give him a chance to recover though and was back on him in a second. Unfortunately for the Uchiha, he was reflexive on his taijutsu and tried for a takedown. His choice of moves proved too hazardous though, as Yoroi casually turned his hand and once again grabbed Sasuke's chest. Sasuke got a kick in and managed to get away from Yoroi. He gripped his neck in pain as the Tenno Juin began to act up, deciding he had to end this match quickly. Then appear behind Yoroi Chidori. 1000 Birch called out, forming a ball of lightning to spawn in his hand as he pushes it through Yoroi chest, killing him. "Kakashi, you taught him such a dangerous move, why?" Guy said to the lazy porn reading rival. You say something," Kakashi replied before he got hit in the head with a frying pan. "I didn't acknowledge him." "You ought to be ashamed," Kurenai said before turning to Ino. "Here is your pan back." "Curious, if you taught him that, what did you teach Naruto?" Asuma said, watching Kakashi carefully. Well, Kakashi started sweating. "Kakashi, you didn't teach him at all for this tournament, did you?" Kurenai said with a frown. "He never teaches us anything," Sakura says offhandedly, too into watching the fight to notice the frowns and stares given to Kakashi by his peers. Back to fight. Payate walked over and jumped up to the balcony to check on the down team, not even needing to get too close. Winner, Uchiha Sasuke. Medics were already making their way to remove the body. As his victory was announced, Sasuke nearly collapsed from chakra exhaustion but was caught by Kakashi as the Junin waved off the medics coming their way. "Come on. We need to take care of that little hindrance." Before Sasuke could object, he was taken away via Shunshin, much to the annoyance of Sakura, who was now complaining about not being able to congratulate him while screeching about how she knew he'd win. The name board scrolled again as the next 2 contestants were displayed. Kankurum and Misumi come to the floor. The 2 made their way down the steps and calmly faced each other in the arena. Begin. Before anyone could blink, Misumi had Kankurum wrapped up in his impossibly stretched and bent arms. "I use my chakra to move my body after I dislocate all my joints. Give up now or I'll break your neck. Piss off, asshole." A loud snap was heard throughout the arena as Misumi tightened his grip and Kankurum's now limp neck caused his head to flop forward. Hayate stepped forward but was stopped by the sound of something hitting the floor. Everyone watched as Kankurum's face seemed to chip off onto the stone. Suddenly his head turned around and laughed at Misumi. It wasn't the face of Kankurum but rather a wooden contraption. Its arms shot out and wrapped around the boy as the bandage package that Kankurum had been holding was torn open, revealing the real Kankurum who was manipulating the puppet remotely. "You take so much pride in being able to bend your body like that. How about I make you really flexible by breaking every bone in your body?" Kankurum said with a jerk of a finger. The puppet's arms tightened and the elastic genin screamed out before going completely limp. It's a good thing I didn't call that match early. Hate thought as he walked over to check Miss Yumi. Winner Kankram, Hate said. The medics rushed in and took the traumatized boy away as Kankram made his way back up to his siblings. Next match, Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino. Hate said. Same as the cannon fight. Once the little spectacle was over with and everyone was settled back in place, Hate coughed again. Cough. The next match will be Aburam Shino of Konoha and Zaku of Odo. Please come to the arena floor. The two boys made it to the floor, but the one that caught the most attention was Zaku, as he had both his arms in slings from his fight with Sasuke. Hate squinted at the boy, wondering if he should stop the match before he even started it, but with a nod from both genin he was resigned to his duties. Begin. You should forfeit this match so you don't injure yourself further. Shino told the boy in a flat voice. Zaku ignored him and got into a fighting stance before forcing one of his arms out of its sling. Don't get so cocky. You'd be surprised what I can manage. Zanke, a blast of wind shot out at the bug user and flung him back. Due to the extent of Zaku's injuries, the blast wasn't strong enough to do much major damage. He watched as Shino got up easily and stood once again like a statue. Your one arm and its breeze are hardly effective enough to go against my plans. A chattering sound filled the arena as everyone looked around to find its source. Their attention was drawn to the arena floor, where a thickening swarm of insects was making its way towards Zaku from the opposite side of Shino. Now you are surrounded. Attack me, and my insects will attack you. Attack them, and I will attack you. Is that your trump card to surround me with bugs? Zaku lowered his head and gritted his teeth in pain as he struggled with his other arm, but eventually got it up and opened it. Thesis, a trump card. Now I can attack both you and your pathetic bugs. Now die. Zankikuha, a high-pitched whistling was heard throughout the arena as one of Zaku's arms flew off towards one wall and the other erupted with holes in various places. Once Zaku's technique ended, he was left with only extreme pain as he screamed out. Shino took full advantage as he rushed over and punched the boy in the side, causing him to fall painfully on his face as he now had no way to break his fall. That is a true trump card. As you were talking, I had my insects crawl up into those annoying holes of yours and sit. The inevitable buildup of pressure needed a release, and now you see the after effects. It's too bad that whatever method was used to give you those tubes seems to have killed the nerves in your palms, or you would have felt them there as they entered your body. He turned his back to the boy and began walking to the stairs. Hayate was about to call the match when he saw Zaku slowly shuffle to his feet. Without so much as a sound, the boy rushed the Aburam to attack, but once again cried out in pain and fell to the ground, steam rising from his legs and back. No one had seen the attack happen, but when they looked at Shino, they found him stopped with his hands in the bird sign. And that is a backup plan. He started before continuing his walk. Hayate went to check on the boy and found he had been literally cooked from specific points on his legs and middle back. Checking for a pulse, he found it to be fading fast and waved the medics over. Winner Shino. He looked back at the medics who were trying to force chakra into the boy as they took him away. Even for a non-medic like Hayate, he could tell that if they were at such a point that it was pretty much hopeless that he would make a full recovery. Watching one medic run over to the wall, he remembered the kid's arm flying off and realized that it was pointless either way. Back with Hayate, he watched the board scramble names again. Fifth match, Tsuchi-kin vs Shikamaru. Winner. Shikamaru. Nara just released him and walked back to the balcony and just laid down on the floor and fell asleep. Match 7, Uzumaki Naruto against Inyazuka Kiba. Naruto simply hopped the railing while Kiba let his intentions known first. Yeah, Akamaru, we finally get to show this team just where he belongs without all his bitches getting in the way. Don't worry ladies, I'll show you just how worthless your boyfriend really is. Akamaru barked in response as they landed on the arena floor and strutted over to their waiting opponent and Hayate. Ready to lose, dope, Kiba shouted. Kiba, I feel bad for you, so I will give you a chance to give up now. The statement sent a wave of raised eyebrows around the arena. He couldn't really be that arrogant, could he? Ah, you sound cocky, Baka, but I will never give up. I'll beat you into a pulp. Kiba got a sneaky grin on his face and got into his family stance, but was confused when Naruto went into a stance of his own. What do you think you're doing? What Taijutsu style? Don't even try to imitate it, it'll tear you to shreds. Kiba asked. Hey, you say something. Naruto replied in a lazy manner. You bastard, I'll kill you. Without waiting for Hayate to begin the match, Kiba began his attack. Ska, the spinning vortex that was Kiba launched at Naruto, which he simply sidestepped the attack. Shikaku no Jutsu. Jin Bunshin, get ready for some pain, bastard. Gatsuka, Kiba shouted once again. Naruto dodged all the attacks headed for him, easily flowing between them or calmly brushing the vortexes aside. Kiba rounded on him after the first assault. So you can dodge pretty well, but what about when you can't see? Kiba flung a cylinder to the floor which erupted in a cloud of smoke. Gatsuka the vortexes charged the smoke as a few of the onlookers watched with worry. Their worry doubled when the twin tunnels rounded in on whatever was hidden multiple times. Naruto Hana cried out from her spot above. Then every heard Shinra Tensei and saw the two Kibas flying out of the smoke and smash into the walls and Naruto walk out with his Rinnegan blazing. In the stands. What the hell was that, yelled Ino. Someone chips fell out of his mouth. Naruto, how strong are you, Sakura? That was the most youthful eyes I ever seen, Lee shouted. Those eyes, that it's the same one he used to kill my father, someone said. What are those eyes? I never see them before, Kurenai. I have to ask Naruto-kun about them. Me either, said the chain smoker. Old guy shout something about youthfulness. Back to the fight. Kiba came out of the wall. That was just a luck hit, won't happen again, Kiba shouted. Then he immediately went on the offensive. Both Kibas renewed their assault on the seemingly untouchable genin as Naruto continued to dodge them. The onlookers couldn't tell what exactly the style was, but it was obviously a very strong defensive one. Not a single strike landed as Kiba and Akamaru shot around him in an effort to find an opening. Kiba was quickly running out of stamina while Naruto had hardly moved a foot. One last chance to give up Kiba, Naruto opened his eyes and stared at Kiba. The eyes he showed were hard and calculating, putting Kiba and Akamaru on edge and ready for anything. Never, Kiba shouted. As Naruto stood aside. I was hoping you would have given up, but very well. He took his sword off his back then into a new stance, causing even Hei to wonder just how many forms the boy knew. As he raised his sword into the air, it began to glow blue. Naruto stood with his legs slightly bent. I'll be honest, I haven't had much practice with this one, but let's see how well it works. Kushina was trying to figure out the sword form. It was familiar, but modified, that much she could tell. He took in the main aspects of it before it slowly dawned on her. Uzumaki flying swords of doom, whispered astonished. Mikoto turned to her. Where would he have learned something like that? I didn't know anyone here even knew it. Mikoto asked. It was in my family scroll, Kushina said, but how did Naruto find it? How does it work? Mikoto asked. I haven't seen it. I only heard stories about it, Kushina replied. It relies mainly on offense, but it can be used as defense too. The invisible sword flies in the air, then comes down around him like a dome, then it fires in any direction the user wants at any opponents, thus cutting them to pieces. But, as the dome spins around Naruto, it sucked the air out of the dome, leave the user with less oxygen to breathe. Kushina, you don't think Naruto will kill Kiba? Mikoto asked. No, I don't think Naruto will kill Kiba, but he will have lots of cuts on his skin that could kill him if not treated right away, Kushina said. Naruto started clearing the distance between himself and Kiba with a slightly dancing step, causing a little confusion as to what exactly he was doing. The dog boy's eyes followed his opponent's movements, trying to anticipate an attack, then Naruto shouted Uzumaki style. Flying swords of doom. As the doom form, the swords was sent flying at the two Kibas in a blink of a second. Kiba and Akamaru was on the ground with multiple cuts all over their body. Winner, Naruto said the proctor, as the medics and Hana, Kiba's sister, rushed in to heal the Inuzuka and his dog as Naruto headed for the stairs. Hana rushed down to meet him along with Anika as they jumped into his arm and showered him with kisses as all the men shouted luck team. When the medics carried Kiba by, he waved for them to hold on a minute and they stopped the stretcher. Tell Hinata if she is going up against Temari or Niji, tell her to forfeit immediately. They are too strong for her. He flinched when the girls narrowed her eyes at him. Kiba-san, my sister, is not the little girl you knew in the academy. She is a lot stronger thanks to me and Naruto-kun. You don't need to worry about her, Andy would prefer you do not do so again, said an angry Hana. Kiba was too scared to say anything as the medics took him away. Let's go, we're interrupting the matches. Naruto said. The two girls nodded and started making their way back up the steps. Next match, Hika Hinata and Hika Niji. The whole room went dead silent. Naruto turned to Hinata to see her staring between the screen and her cousin. Niji on the other hand kept his composure and walked right past them without even looking at her, as if she wasn't worth his time. Don't you dare listen to a word he says. You are 10 times as strong as you were. Now go show his stuck-up ass just what a real Byakugan user can do, Hana said. Just like we practiced, Hinata-chan. Her scowl turned into a smile. Yes, just like we practiced. I can do this. I am stronger now. Hinata went to her side of the floor and faced her cousin with a resolve that he wasn't used to, stance that was similar to his own yet completely unfamiliar. You were always weak and you are still weak. You are delusional if you think you can land a hit on me. Niji took up the standard Ken stance and activated his Byakugan. My eyes see that you are hesitant and unsure of yourself. Even if you have a new technique, you still doubt that you can use them to their fullest. That doubt leads to fear, and that fear is why you will never beat me. Don't listen to Hinata-chan. He doesn't know what you're capable of, no one here does, but us. Neji glared at Naruto and Hana's outburst, but they didn't even flinch. Begin. No, I am not weak, Hinata said, as she activated Byakugan. Neji took off towards Hinata as she began to sway. He brought his palm forward and struck as she dodged. He had thought it would be an easy win, but as seconds and minutes passed, he was quickly finding out that she wouldn't be so easy to defeat. It matters not how often you dodge or move. You are still weak and you will tire. Then you will fall to my superior Jiken. Neji said a few more strikes later and he still wasn't able to close any of Hinata's, but in return, he took a passing strike that he hadn't seen coming from her. The battle was lasting a lot longer than he was hoping for, and he had to admit that whatever the girl had learned, she was doing a lot better than she had been before. Better, but not well enough. He rushed into her guard and struck the middle of her chest, throwing her backwards where she curled into a ball holding her chest. Hinata. Don't give up, you're stronger than this. Show him that you are. Hana called out from the balcony as she leaned over the side. Proctor, she won't be getting up. Neji turned glaring at Hana and began to walk away, but stopped as he heard shuffling. Without turning here, he activated his Byakugan. Why are you trying so hard? You should already know you cannot defeat me. In the stands. Hanabi, look at you sister, don't ever be like her, she is a failure, Hiashi said. Yes father, Hanabi replied. Don't listen to your father, your sister is stronger than Thatrika said, as Hiashi glared at her. She just ignore him and look back at the match. Back to the match. Because I can't let Naruto and my sister see me look weak after all the training they give to me. I will be strong for them even if I can't be strong for myself. Hinata got back into her stance, though she was now hunched a bit from the blow she took. She finished her speech just as Neji closed in. He heard, you're in my range, 8 trigrams 32 palms. 2 palms as Neji dodged. 4 palms as 1 connected into Neji's chest. 8 palms as 2 hit him, 1 hits his left arm and other hits his left legs. 16 palms as he dodged them. 32 palms as the last one hit him, sending him flying in the stadium wall. Everybody in the stadium as shocked. The weak Haika had defeated last year Rookie of the Year. In the stands. Haika section. Father, if Hinata is a failure then I want to be a failure too, said Hanabi said. Hiashi said nothing while Rika smiled. Shinobi section. Wow, as really grow stronger, Ino said. Yeah, she is nothing like the we know at the academy, Sakura said. I can't believe she actually won Chouji. No, she hasn't, said Shikamaru. What do you mean, said Ino. Just look, said Shikamaru. Back to the fight. Hinata suddenly fell to one knee as she started to breathe hard. She had used up all her chakra in the last attack, but it was worth it. She had won. The suddenly Neji charge out of the ruble and hit her with a palm thrust in her chest as she spit blood out of her mouth as she fell to the ground. You bitch, I'm going to kill you, Neji shouted as Hinata got back up as Neji got into a familiar stance that the proctor recognized he had to put a stop to. Winner Neji. Cough Neji and Niacin. Why you want to change your fate so bad, don't you? Why you are like this to protect why your heart from the pain you feel. You hate them main branch so much, but there is nothing you think you can do about it. Neji's Byakugan deepened as she spoke. Why you are trapped and you can't run away from it. Are you jealous of me because I am a main branch? Cough. As they looked on, the ninja watching the fight could see in her eyes the pity she felt for the Haika boy. That was enough for Neji as his rage flared and he sprinted towards Hinata and shouted 8 trigrams 64 pounds. Shit were the thoughts of Hana and Rika. As they rushed down, but Rika was stopped by a chakra lace finger to the neck by Hiashi, but Hana was there into front of Neji to block his attack with one of her own protection of the 8 trigrams 64 palms. 2 palms. 4 palms. 6 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms, the both shouted as she blocked all of his attack. What the hell do you think you are doing? You already won the match, Hana yelled at him. Fate told Hime to end her, now get out of the way or you will share the same fate, Neji said as he glared at her as he went into the same stances. Bring it on, as she challenged his glare as she activated Byakugan. Neji, stand down or you will be arrested, said the Hokage. Neji just snorted and turned around to leave. Hana deactivated her Byakugan to check on her sister when suddenly she felt a palm thrust in her back, sending her fly face first into the stadium wall. I told you not to interfere, Neji said. Suddenly a strong Kai flooded the room. Oh shit, was the unanimous thought of the and Hokage, who looked at Naruto and saw his eyes turn red with a vertical slit as they rushed in to stop him. None though were fast enough. As they reached the area where Naruto was to pin him down, he was already gone. He was in front of Niji, as Niji stood there shocked, then he was hit with a fist into his jaw. They all could hear the crack of bones throughout the arena, and Niji was sent flying into the wall, as Niji then the rest of the ninja appeared and grabbed Naruto, then Niji make the mistake of getting up, you see where Naruto had hit him his lower and upper jaw was in two different direction, then they felt the Naruto Kai again. Naruto, don't do it, if you attack him again I will be forced to arrest you, Hokage said, but Naruto wasn't listen, all they heard was Shinra Tensei, and every was sent in different direction, as Naruto took his sword off his back and it started to glow green, world's strongest slash. But it was stopped by the same green light as a man appeared in front of Niji. You grav and I circumflex ns set you circumflex you umlaut macron, Takanomi, no mihmku Hawkeye Mihik was all the Jonin could say. Sensei, get out of my way, Naruto yelled. Naruto, stop, you have to calm down, or you will do something you will regret, Hawkeye said. No, he hurt Hana, now he will pay with his life, Naruto shouted as he lifted his sword to attack again when suddenly three redhead and a brunette appeared in front, behind, and on the two side of him, they all yelled at the same time, Naruto, stop. As they hug him while crying on him, they all of his anger vanish. He hates seeing women cry. Everybody in the arena let out a breath of relief that they were all holding, then Mai, Kushina, and Annika continued to hold a crying Naruto. The medic saw their chance to treat and came rushing up with a stretcher and pulled Niji, Hana, and Hinata onto it as they took her away. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Mai asked, then Kushina and Annika realized that they weren't the only ones holding Naruto. Who are you? Kushina demanded. This is not the time or place for this, Mia said. Kushina was about to say something when Naruto interrupted them. I find just need to check up on Hana, Naruto said as they let him go. Naruto started to walk away to the medical ward when he was surrounded by Ambus and the Naruto, Uzumaki, you are under arrest by orders of the Hokage and disqualify from the exam, said as they grab him, Annika was about to rush over to him when Kushina stopped. No, you will only make it worse, Kushina said, then Kushina stepped forward. Are you going to arrest Niji too, Hokage-sama? Is Niji going to share the same fate as my son, Kushina said. Why should he? He is the victim of your son attack, the replied. The shinobi was in an uproar, some were calling for Naruto's death while others were shouting for his release. Quiet down, Naruto broke a direct order and attack when I told him not to, the Hokage yelled. But did you give Niji the same order and yet he still attack Hana, and beside Naruto's attack never hit Niji, but Niji's attack hit Hana, Kushina said. But that was cut off by Mai. If Naruto get punished then the Hokage should receive the same when he recover, Mai said. All the shinobi who were on Naruto's side all shouted in agreement. They knew he was in a bind. If he punished Niji and not Naruto he would lose the support of the Hokage clans and some of the civilian, and also there were people coming to the final who wanted to see the Hokage geniuses in action, but if he did not punish him and only punish Naruto he would lose the support of some of the clan leaders and he can't afford to lose any, so he decided. And I will punish them both, but no one will be going to prison or be disqualified, but both of them will not be promoted too in this exam, they said, as he looked at both Kushina and Hiashi, who both agreed as the Anbu release and just rush off to find Hana, not even looking at as the women followed him. Right back to the exam, yelled the Hokage. Tenten of Konoha and Garina of Suna, come down please. Both girls were the picture of true Kunoichi as they wasted no movement while they got into place on the arena floor. They both stood relaxed as if they had no cares in the world. Begin. No words were exchanged as Tenten immediately jumped back and ran a wide arc around the Suna Kunoichi before taking out a few kunai and throwing them at the younger girl. To the surprise of her teammates and herself, she completely missed. Impossible. Sorry girlie, but you won't hit me with an aim like that, Garina said. Tenten just huffed and began tossing more weapons at Garina. All of them got deflected, and at the end of the metal rain, Tenten was left staring at Garina, whose fan was now open partway. This is the first moon, there are two more. When you see all three this match will be over. Tenten just grit her teeth and took out a pair of scrolls. I was planning on saving this for the main matches, but it looks like I won't be able to hold back. Tenten said, getting enough distance she balanced the two scrolls in front of her as she made hand signs. Smshmirk, the scrolls erupted into the air as a pair of twisting dragons between which Tenten appeared amidst a double helix. Channeling chakra into the scrolls as they spun, weapons began to appear in her hands as she started a new rain of steel aimed right at Garina. The shower continued for only 30 seconds, but by that time hundreds of weapons of all types were littering the ground with Garina standing in a small clearing amongst them. I'm not done yet. With tremendous effort she used the strings connected to each weapon and pulled them all back into the air before swinging her arms forward, causing all of the weapons to crash down again, but all at once, this time in a near solid sheet of pointed metal. There should have been no dodging the mass, but as Tenten landed, she glared at the lone figure in the middle of the field of metal. Irina just smirked as she stood with the second moon of her fan showing. Shall we end this little game? Twirling her fan in front of her, Garina vanished into thin air. Tenten looked around frantically until a shadow overlapped her. She looked up into the air to see Garina grinning down at her from on top of her fan. She was surprised that she hadn't attacked when she had the chance, but it seemed that wasn't her plan. Instead, Garina landed right back where she started, still with the same grin on her face, while the fan was completely unfolded, showing all 3 moons. Kamitachi no Jutsu. In the small arena, the attack rounded on itself, and soon Tenten was lifted into the air in a small whirlwind that began cutting into her clothing. The larger problem wasn't the chakra-laced wind though, but rather the vacuum inside the cone. With a lack of air, she was quickly rendered helpless before Garina released, causing the kunoichi to fall toward the ground. Garina wasn't satisfied with that though, as she held her fan to the side and caught Tenten on the end of her iron fan, the not-so-soft landing causing Tenten to cough up blood before she passed out. Still not satisfied, Garina threw Tenten out towards her own weapons, intending to impale the girl upon her own horde. Luckily, the girl's teammate was able to jump down in time to save her from an even more painful landing. Is that any way to treat someone who tried their best? Lee glared at Sunanin. Shut up and take that weakling out of my sight. Garina safely sped forward and attempted to attack Garina, but was blocked by her fan. Now that wasn't nice. It's as expected from a ninja from such a soft village though. Garina said. Lee. Calm down. The green spandex-clad Jounin sensei of the boy landed behind his student. Hi guy sensei. Garina stops messing around with that idiot and his guardian. Tamari's cold voice came from above. Winner Karina. There was a small intermission as the weapons were cleared from the floor. Medical ward. Naruto, with Anika, Mai and Kushina hot on his heels, bolted into the infirmary, but they were told that only one of them could enter at a time, so Naruto entered first. When he opens the room, he saw Kurenai was talking softly with a doctor while Hinata and Hana slept in their nearby beds. The rest of the room was empty, so they quietly pulled some of the extra visitors' chairs around upon seeing him. She rushed over to him and hugged him as she cried on his shoulder as Naruto hugged her while rubbing her back. Naruto, they will be fine. Let them rest in peace. The doctor said that Hana will be out of here in a week and Hinata will be out before the final. Naruto let out a sigh of relief. He walks over to Hana's bedside and brushes his hands through her hair. I swear if I meet Niji in the final I will kill him, Naruto said. Don't say that, Naruto-kun. He's my family, Hinata said. Family? You call him family? Hinata, family don't try to kill each other like that, Naruto said. Please Naruto, don't kill him, it's not his fault, please, I already give him, Hinata said. Sorry, but I can't forgive him for what he has done, especially to Hana, Naruto said. Please Naruto, promise me you won't kill him, I begging you, Hinata said as she began to cry. Naruto hate to see women cry, so he decided. Okay Hinata-chan, I won't kill him, Naruto said. Thank you Naruto-kun, Hinata said as Naruto got up. Hana held onto his hand and asked what happened, and he told her he could see the rage growing as she shouted about how she was going to kill him as Naruto calmed her down. Then she turned to Naruto. I want you to kill Niji if you meet him in the final, Hana said. Naruto was about to answer when Hinata cut him off. You can't mean that, sister Hinata. Why not? He tried to kill us, Hana said. But he's family, Hinata said. Family? He tried to kill you as Hinata. He's no family of mine, Hana yelled as she looked at her sister, wonder how she can be so stupid at times. But Hinata said as she was cut off. No buts, I want him dead, Hana said. Sorry Hana, but I can't kill him, Naruto said. Why not? Hana yelled. Because I already promised Hinata that I wouldn't kill him, Naruto said as Hana glared at Hinata as Hinata held her head down. If looks could kill Hinata, would be dead right now. See that he did want sisters to fight, so decided to come up with something that will please both of them. Hana, stop looking at Hinata like that. How about I promise you that I punish so bad that he would forget it, but I won't kill him, Naruto said. Fine, but I get to choose the punishment, Hana said. He'll now get some rest, Naruto said. Outside the room. Naruto came out to see all the women talking to each other like they were best friends. As they saw Naruto, they asked him if the girls was alright, and he told them what happened. Then what happened outside while he was in there, and Mei and Mia told him that they were getting to their mother-in-law and his other wife. They found they had a lot in common. As they continued to talk until they saw Guy. What happened in the rest of the match, Naruto asked. When the fires of Lee's youth began to run out of fuel, this Sabaku no Tamari was able to catch him a glancing blow with her sand and hurl him against the wall. Guy reported in a distressed voice. Naruto already knew that no one could beat Tamari but him. I was forced to intervene before he was severely injured. I'm sure Lee knows you did the right thing, Kurenai assured him, looking a bit uncomfortable herself. Yes, but when he is recovered we will run 1,000 laps around Konoha, backward, on our hands. Guy assured her. Then Guy continued. Dosu from the sound defeated Choji, and the matches for the next round in a month have already been selected. You will fight Hyuga Niji. Kurenai eyes widen in surprise, while Naruto had a beatific grin spread across his face. Ichiraku's store 5:30 p.m. Naruto didn't have a particular destination in mind after all the redeed for the Uzumaki compound while Anika went home, but he found himself walking towards Ichiraku's store. It had been some time since Naruto had some ramen. He could picture eating AM ramen today, and his stomach approved of this by issuing a growl. Conceding to his hunger, Naruto entered the restaurant. Smiling towards the old chief, Ichiraku issued a laugh. Well, if it isn't our best customer, Ichiraku gave Naruto a gentle pat on the shoulder as AM came around the corner. Is that Naruto? AM cried out as she jumped into his arms. How have the Chunin exams been? AM asked from Naruto's dark looks. The two guessed something bad happened. After telling them what happened between Hinata, Hana, himself and Niji, AM hugged him even harder for a while before she and Ichiraku turned and began to cook Naruto's ramen. After a few moments of silence, Naruto's food finished, but before the Uzumaki could eat, a shadow fell over him. Turning one eye behind him, Naruto saw Jiraiya staring down at him. What do you want? Feigning a hurt look, Jiraiya took his seat next to the boy. Hey, I heard what happened to your girlfriend, Jiraiya spoke, but got no response from Naruto. Jiraiya watched as Naruto ignored him as he ate his ramen. Sighing, Jiraiya reached forward, and before Naruto knew it, the bowl of ramen was dumped on his head. As the liquid poured down his head, Naruto's eyes flashed to the hermit. Now that is a good look for you. Jiraiya was about to jump when first caught his face flying through the door. Then Naruto went after him. Do that again, and next time I'll kill you, Naruto said as he looked at the downed Jiraiya who just smiled at the boy. Naruto then went back into the shop, but Jiraiya followed him and kept watching him. What do you want, old man? Naruto finally asked. I'm here to train you. A dumbfounded look was what Jiraiya saw on Naruto's face. I see potential for you, and I noticed your opponent is a Hyuga. I can handle myself. Naruto said. Jiraiya stopped and stared at Naruto. His eyes were set as his blade of wind dispersed. Naruto turned as if to leave, but Jiraiya stopped him with 3 words. You will lose if you only caught off guard the last time. Jiraiya knew at that second he made a small mistake. Turning his head just an inch, Naruto gave Jiraiya a full view of his eye. It was now red. That attitude you have about you being able to win will get you hurt. Just because you have Kyuubi's chakra and some doesn't guarantee you anything. Naruto started to laugh. I don't need your help anymore. Godfather, where were you when I need years ago when the villagers attacked me and my mother? Jiraiya felt ashamed he couldn't answer Naruto's question. He had to make it up to Naruto and know the right way. This is called the Rasengan, Jiraiya started with a simple tone. I propose a challenge for you, but cut him off. I already know it, Naruto said as he created one in his hand. Jiraiya then tried to tell Naruto about a summon contract, but Naruto told him he already have one. Then he tried to convince Naruto again until Naruto him leave him alone. If you change your mind, I'll be at the hot spring at 12 tomorrow, Jiraiya said as he vanished in a whirlwind of leaves. Naruto went back to heat his ramen until he heard crying come from the corner of the shop. When he looked up he saw it was Rin, Kakashi's girlfriend and one of his mom's friends, so he went over to see what was wrong. Hey Rin, what's up? Naruto asked. It's nothing to bother yourself with, Naruto-kun, Rin replied. Sorry Rin, but I can't bear to see a woman cry, especially beautiful one, without trying to help them, Naruto said, which made Rin blush. Okay Kakashi, he was supposed to be our anniversary tonight and my birthday tomorrow and left a train with the Uchiha without even telling me. I had to find out about it from the ring as she started to cry even harder as Naruto put a comforting hands around her to calm her down. Kakashi is an idiot leaving beautiful women like you alone for your birthday. If I was your boyfriend, I would leave you at all I would have brought along with me if I had to leave, said, which made her blush. Would you really? Rin asked as she stops crying. Of course I would, Naruto said. Thank Naruto, you really are a great guy, Rin. Then Naruto got a great idea. How about I treat you for ramen tonight and tomorrow I take you out for your birthday, Naruto said. You don't have to, Rin said. But I want to. I pick you up tomorrow at 7, Naruto said. Okay Naruto-kun, Rin said. Then both of them started to talk about each other for some hours until Rin was called back to the hospital, but she gave him a kiss on the cheek and thanked him again before she left. Naruto was about to leave when AM grabbed his hands. I think you are forgetting something, AM. And what's that, Naruto? Why ramen? Don't tell me you forgot, you promise, AM said. Stop, we can't do it here, my father will see us. Let's take this to my house. Father won't be home for the next 2 hours, AM said. Then she told her father that she was going home early and then they left. 10 minutes later, AM's house. As she opened the door, Naruto attacked her lips and he kissed her all over her body as she leads him to her bedroom. Naruto-kun, you own me a new bed, AM said playfully. Then they heard a knock on her bedroom and voice calling. "Shit it my father, you have to get out of here," Am said, as Naruto rushed to put on his clothes. As he finished he gave her one last kiss. As he was about to leave when her father opened the all he saw was Am in her broken bed, trying to cover up her nakedness, and a red hair man jumping through the window. As his brain started to this information, only one name come to his mouth. "Naruto, I going to kill you" was heard all over the village. But Naruto was still running when he ran into someone, as both of them fell to the ground. When he looks up he saw Yoshino-Nara, then he apologizes. "Sorry about that, Yoshino-sama," Naruto said, as he offered his hand to her. "Stop being so formal, Naruto-kun, we know each other for a long time, you call me Yoshino-chan," Yoshino said, as accept his hand, and he pull her up. "So what are doing out here so late at night, Yoshino-chan?" Naruto asked. "Clan meeting," she replied. "Oh, how I escort you back to your compound," Naruto said. "I would love that, Naruto-kun," Yoshino replied. Nara compound 10 minutes later. "See you later, Yoshino-chan," Naruto said. "Wait, how about you come in for tea?" Yoshino asked. "What about your son? You know he doesn't like me," Naruto said. "He's just being troublesome, beside he probably sleeping," Yoshino said. Troublesome. Naruto kept playing that word in his mind over and over, but he couldn't remember where he had heard it before. "Okay then," Naruto said, as he entered the compound. As they reached in the kitchen she told Naruto to sit while she made the tea. After she came back they started talk about the exam, Naruto's life, and etc. until Shikamaru came down and saw Naruto. "What are you doing?" Shikamaru said with venom in his voice. "I think I better leave," Naruto said. "Don't leave, Naruto, he's just being troublesome," Yoshino said. Troublesome at that word again, then it hit him. Flashback. "First up is Sloth," Kushina said. Sloth walk up to Naruto and remove her mask, as sit on his lap and wrap her leg around him and press the upai against him and said, "This is very troublesome, but you are worth it," as started to give him a lap dance that make Naruto member rise to the heaven. "Oh Naruto, it's so big, I can't wait to ride it," Sloth said as she got off of him. Flashback end. "No, it's okay, I be seeing you again at my mom's select meeting, and bring your friend Sloth, I hear she give the best lap dance, although she finds it troublesome," Naruto whispered in her ears as she turned red. "Get away from my mother, you team," as a shadow shoots after him, but Naruto is already gone. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then sayonara.